lift. So lift is still a permanent hair color. We're still going to be using that like a permanent hair color. And the only difference is that it lifts extra, and it's going to give us up to 5 levels of lift. We can still tone, we can neutralize, and we're lifting like if it's a regular permanent hair color, but it has that extra ability to go that mile to lift an additional level. So how we're going to use this is still our standard mixing ratio, 1 to 1.5, and we're going to use 30 or 40 volume for our activator because we're trying to lift, right? Technically, we can use 5, we can use 8.5, we can use 20, but why would I use those? What would be the point? So we still can, and it's possible because TG does really encourage us to be creative. But when we're trying to lift and we're trying to get at least 5 levels of lift, we're gonna use 30 or 40 volume. The mixing, 1 to 1.5, and then our timing is 35 to 45 minutes. The timing, making sure that we leave it on enough time, minimum of that 35 is super important to get the full ability of all that lift. Because half of the time we're going to use to lift, and then half of the time we're going to use to deposit. When it, like for the lifting and deposit for permanent hair color, we really have to make sure that we leave it on the minimum at least.
But for dark hair, it doesn't get orangey or when they have naturally dark brown hair,
right,
and they want to lift it to use high lift color, and we use
so when
it's gonna be the root is gonna be, you know, is turned
so
orangey.
That's a really good question. So you see the level that we have here? The level is 100.
Yeah.
That's not an actual level, is it? So now we have to start thinking of, okay, where did the guest start with? What was her beginning level? Did she start with a level 4?
Yes.
Start with a level 3? You guys probably get a lot of 4s and 3s.
Yes.
You know, like me, I'm like a 3.
And they want to light
and oh, make me super light, right? This is not necessarily the product that's going to give us the lightest results for bleach blonde highlights. But what it can do is give us a beautiful base to begin, so before we begin to highlight, to lift them as light as they can go, right? Let's pretend that they had virgin hair and we were able to use this line. Well, if they start at a level 3 and we can lift up to 5 levels, do we really think it's gonna lift 5 levels on a level 3?
No.
Okay, right? We have to be real with ourselves. We have to be real with ourselves. We know how strong the underlying.
It's like 2 level.
Right. Maybe even, we could probably get a cool 4. We could probably get a solid 4 on somebody who has normal hair, a level 3, but someone who has coarse, resistant, thick, dark,
so
we might get a couple of levels. We might get 2 levels. We have to think about these things, right? So when we think about where we're starting from, if we're starting like at a level 3, and we're gonna go, we wanna go, how many developers? I mean, we wanna use 30 or 40?
30.
For the activator.
40.
40. Okay, so theoretically we would go 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, right?
4 level.
But now we're like, we already know her hair is a little bit dark. Let's just bump it down. We're probably gonna get to that 6 with this high lift color.
4 is gonna be 6. Level 4.
Well, level 3. Level 3.
Level 3 is gonna be the most. With 40 is gonna be 6.
Right.
Color.
And that's why we're going to
that's
get a
for
little bit
natural
extra
color,
boost, because normally that's right with normal hair color. We still have to consider that, right? So normal hair color, we would be using like trying to get there.
Yeah.
And this is going to help get us the rest of the way there.
Yes.
Just a little bit. We still have to consider the same elements with the coarse, the texture, all the elements of our hair when we're doing our hair analysis, right? But we are able to lift extra, which is going to give us that beautiful, beautiful base. And then before we get there, if we already know that we're going to be dealing with a lot of orange, we could start using our Mix Master to cancel some of that out in advance while we're processing it. So we don't have to do it. Yeah. So we don't have to do anything later. And we'll go over how to use the Mix Master to do that.
You know, I used to use for people that they want to highlight, looks really natural, and they have like level 5. And they want a natural highlight, not too light. I use lift with like 40 volume or 30 volume is beautiful.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, I think, the right guest for this product.
I use a lot.
Especially for that beautiful, nice highlighting. We don't have to use bleach, tone. We don't have to do all of that. We could do it all in one step.
Natural hair. Even tint hair, I did it and it came out beautiful. They don't want a big change.
Yeah.
They want a natural looking
Absolutely.
with 40 volume. Yeah.
So when we're using Mixmaster,